I just noticed one of the Gundam models isn't here. There's 3 of them. There's 2. The third one's... Why do I have the feeling as soon as I turn out the lights and lock the door that this place is going to turn into a behind-the-scenes episode of Toy Story? There should be a third. There should be a third Gundam here. Where? Doody 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 doody. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's right. I put it over there. Didn't I? Ba-dum-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ooh, careful. So, hey guys, welcome to the TARDIS. And I told everyone I was going to slow my roll and take my time to seal up and be better about the putty and the paint. And so today on the Mace missile, I got it puttied up last night and came out today, sanded it, cleaned it up, used a tack cloth and wiped it down again, hit it with the gray primer, then let that harden, saw the blemishes, and everything was pretty well sealed, but not exactly. Some of the seams are still a little apparent, so second coat of putty as needed, another sanding, a second coat of primer, and then I mounted the tail and the wings, and of course they needed some putty, and the tail section in particular right here, this is all dry now, the tail section in here really had a big gap no matter how hard I squeezed it, how much pressure I applied, so a fair amount of putty. That's the only quote-unquote bad fit I've had on this whole thing. This Renwall kit's really well engineered. And I did find that on top of one of the big mechanical boxes that goes on the trailer of the truck, the Terra Cruiser, that it actually had Revell 1982 stamped on top, so I had to scrape all that off. I know they usually put stamping on the exterior, but that was actually on top of the model where it would really have been visible, and kind of an odd place to put it. Normally, you know, put it underneath or something so you don't have to worry about scraping it off. So I sanded it off, sanded it down. And that was what I got done today. I haven't been out here a lot because just things going on, and did get to take the Mustang out for a drive, and tomorrow morning early, oh, that reminds me, there won't be any content in the morning unless I can make a little something to release tonight for scheduled in the morning, because I have a 7 or 8 a.m. appointment at the top shop where they're going to look at my convertible top. So I was out in the Mustang today, but with the top up, but it's still just fun to drive. It's a Mustang. So a lot of stuff going on, plumbing issues in the house, things like that. So, you know, I'm not going to bore you. Also, you'll notice I have this spiffy stand for the Mace. Somebody had commented that these videos needed to be lighted better, so I brought an extra light out, which was on the stand, and then I realized, hey, this stand would be perfect for putting this thing on to paint it, because it's so big and everything, so it's going to be doing double duty. Now, I'm going to pause this for a second and move the light into another position and see if the lighting's better. So, this hand. So now I just move the light to the side, and from what I can see, it doesn't really look any better. So I can use the stand another time, but there's just no space in here to put things up, and I don't have any place to hang it. So anyway, doing what I can with what I got. So that was the work today. That Terra Cruiser is going together. Haven't really started on the Jolly Roger pirate ship, and I got the Mace a little bit done. So, you know what? Let's just step back here and see if that... Does that help with the lighting any? I can move this over here. Maybe. You know what? I got an idea. Hold on. Now I've got it where I had originally intended to put it back on the tripod. I got the Maces dried, so I got it sitting over there. I suppose I could sand it and prime it tonight before I run inside and edit this video. Also, guys, I'm trying to crank the volume up all the way. I'm giving it all she's got. So if you're not hearing me now, I'm not sure. There's really not much else I can do. I got it cranked up on the camera. I'm going to have it cranked up in the editing software, and I'm using a lav mic. In the morning, I use those just use my cell phone while I'm inside. So I could run back and forth with the lavatory mic, which might help a little bit. It's just, for a while, you're just moving so much equipment around all the time. I need to buy a second lav mic, and I actually had one, but it was the one that was popping and clicking. It was probably a bad wire. So I need to get another one. That just makes life easier when the equipment's just set up, so you just flip it on and jabber, instead of spending 20 minutes setting everything up, 20 minutes breaking everything down, and next thing you know, this time I could be building models. And now for something completely different. My wife and I were talking about something today, and it kind of sparked a couple of memories. When we were both young, both of us at our respective parents' or aunt's house or whatever would find like old trunks and, kids fascinated by old things. Well, one day when I was probably 77, I got to go up in my grandmother's attic and found some of my dad's old model airplanes he'd never finished building. They weren't complete. They were big things from the 40s. One of them had a big metal fuselage. There were no wood or anything, so probably parts he traded. You're just like, wow, what's the story on all this? I'm wondering if you guys ever, when you were kids or something, or even young adults, if you ever like your grandparents' house found like an old model or maybe an old toy or something, just, kind of interesting stuff that you're like, yeah, ooh, and what would probably be worth it. The posters I found down in the basement that Dad had up since World War II would have probably been worth something. And we did take them home and put them in our room, but I don't know what happened to them. But it's just one of those things that kind of makes you wonder. And I remember always being intrigued by old models that people had built a long time ago from some company I'd never heard of, or sometimes they were scratch made. And of course, model building goes back a lot farther than we realize. People have known models of things since, I think, even the Greeks were, supposedly, cavemen had made little carvings of, mastodons or something. But I really believe that model building touches us in a way, kind of the way movies and music do. There's more, and we like the creative process of building. We love the creation we made. It's usually a subject we're interested in it, but there's something innate in humans about making things in miniature. And it seems like every culture out there has had some form of miniature making or model making. I was watching one of those Pierce films, Sense of Scale, it was on doing From the Earth to the Moon, which I was an extra in. They got the Saturn V model and the launch umbilical tower from Apollo 13. And I'll find it, put a link below. It's about 6 minutes long. It's worth watching. I remember my jaw hit the floor when I saw that. I was like, oh, I couldn't even build the paper when these guys made this 22-foot model. Saturn V is like 20 feet tall. I'm like, I want that. No idea where I'm going to put it, but I want it. Oh, God. And it's just something about life in miniature and models just hits us where we live. And I'm glad it does, because that keeps things fun. But I think it runs deeper in the fiber of our being than we realize. And that's one reason I really hope to get kids, young generation interested in building. A lot of people like to collect models that don't build. They'll get the pre-made ones because they still like life in miniature. But I just want to see us keep the talent pool going and get some more young people involved. And that's, I think that's important to all of us. This has, I guess, been made a little bit of a finer point with Andy's passing lately. And apparently I learned that his Aurora collection was not like just a nice collection that he had in his house. Apparently it was like the one Phil had. I mean, just floors of stuff. And he made arrangements before he passed for what was to be done with it, so it's being taken care of. But I appreciate what the guys over at Andy's, make sure I'm talking about the right Andy, the passing of Andy Yanchus and his collection. I really appreciate what Andy's Hobby Headquarters is trying to do, making that community, that area, to a model museum. But I really wish we could get either the Smithsonian or somebody to put, they used to have, well, they do have a small section for models, but I wish they could do like an entire room or something. In fact, it wouldn't even be the Air and Space, it would be probably the Museum of American History or something like that, because this is much broader than just model airplanes and model cars. I'm still, at some point, when I have the time, I'm going to get together and doing that one on visible kits that Paul's been sending me all that incredible information on. And but I just, so many hours in a day, and again, I get so many irons in the fire, I start losing track of stuff. I'm actually not getting that much model building done. But that's also partly because I'm taking my time. I'm supposed to be having a Zoom session with a former Aurora and Revell executive, and because I can't read an email, I completely got the dates mixed up. So that's going to be pushed off till next month. And I really need to read my emails on the computer where the letters are big.
And Leon's getting larger.
So that's all I got for tonight. I just wanted to touch base with you, and I'll see. There's actually something I want to put together that I'll set up for release in the morning, so maybe there'll be some morning content. I'll just schedule to go out in the morning. But I hope you guys are doing well, and from what I can see, this particular lighting looks better. But I'm running out of room to put stuff in here. I mean, literally, if I move more than one step, chair, table, trash can, just I'm moving around like this. Well, guys, I hope you're doing well this evening. I want to thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourselves as always. Model on. So, guys, I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Let me rephrase that. It's not even on the shelf. No, seriously, there should be a third. There should be a third. Oh.